Yo, what up, YouTube? Ah, oh, oh,
I didn't know you were recording. I took my little hairband off. I didn't want.
oh, no one's thinking
No,
about you, Jared. All right, we're going to review the second best horror film of the year, Weapons.
this will be the non-spoiler review, so I feel like I can probably do a good thing with that. Weapons. How's it going? It was a movie. It was directed by one of my favorite movies of all times, Barbarian. And yeah, it really has that same thing. I don't know the Barbarian's director's name, so I'm probably going to just say Barbarian heaps of times. Does this thing with these movies where it's like this, it kind of feels like this eerie, sort of scary horror movie, but I think just the characters he makes in it really makes what the movie it is. Like, I think they're not so much like good characters, but they're just so interesting and likable even when they're hateable. I think that's my take on it. That's something I've
Yes.
noticed like a repeating thing in his films, and that's what I like about him. Not so much the whole story or the whole premise, but the actors in it that he chooses for the roles are just kind of, to me, I feel like they're kind of perfect. Like they're just like the perfect role for this person, and they just all the actors just hit it out of the park. That's just for me, but
Mm. Did you think all
Dor-
they're all like that? Like Dorothy? Were you gonna say Dorothy?
Dorothy, is that her name? Um,
Something Gardner. Her last name's Gardner.
yeah, I think
Illegana.
she did a good job, like because she just seems like this really like flawed like teacher who makes very bad decisions, and behind closed doors she is a bit annoying, like. And I think that's kind of what I liked about her, because
Hmm.
it wasn't just this movie where she was like, she was actually scared about the children disappearing. That's the premise, what we saw in the trailer. But just afterwards, she's just getting wasted all the time, and she's having an affair with someone like that. She's like just not doing herself any favors. um yeah, well, that's my thought on the gardener character,
Okay,
who
well,
was the
I
main character.
thought, I thought, it was a very technical film. There was a lot going on into it. It has, it's one of those films. It has a twist, but it's not how you'd usually expect a twist. It's not a movie that it goes along. Then in the end of the movie, there's a twist. It kind of happens within the movie, and then it changes, and I don't know. It's a pretty creative film, I would say. It explores a lot of different types of films. It's a funny film, it's a scary film, and it's like a drama film, and it's like a thriller. It's almost all genres put together. And I know the director for this film is known for his comedy films. Like he did, what did he do? He did a couple of, um, I forgot, but yeah, he did a lot of comedy films apparently. Um,
I looked him up recently on Letterbox. He hasn't done as much as I thought. I think all I know about him is Barbarian, but what else is Zach? Miss March. Okay. Yeah, he hasn't.
no, I
He did
remember
a Miss.
having a look at him. I had a look at him.
He did some like really sleazy 2009 movie with Craig Robinson
Wait,
and Hugh Hefner about the Playboy Mansion or something like that.
ew. But yeah,
But
so
yeah,
so I was overall pleased with the movie. I thought there were a couple of things I didn't like about it, and we'll talk about that in the spoilers. But I thought overall it was pretty good. It was interesting. It felt like a really long movie, but I wasn't bored, so that's important. Um, Again, it was the second best horror movie of the year after Bring Her Back. All right, your turn, Mitch.
Yeah. I walked out of it more impressed than I was gonna feeling like I was gonna be. Um, it's definitely not your typical horror slash thriller kind of film. It comes at it with a different kind of avenue. I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say it's a non chronological kind of film. Takes place in different times, pretty much focusing on this entire month the story takes place. Um, Yeah, I agree. The cast did a good job. For me, the weakest part was Julie Garner. Um, Kind of feeding into what Jared said, she was for me very annoying in the first half of the film, and perhaps it was intentional to establish her as this very flawed individual. Fair enough, but at the same time, there's like annoying characters that you still enjoy annoying, and then there's performances that are just straight up annoying. And whether it's a credit or a discredit to Julie Garner, but she just was a person I don't like in this first half of the film. And it's probably more of a compliment that her performance was so believable that I just wanted to reach into the screen and strangle her at some points. Because, yeah, she's
Yeah.
that atypical kind of person that's just like, oh, you really need to stop talking about shit. It's just stop doing what you're doing. So at one point, I felt like BD1's character. We'll talk about that in the spoilers.
You might just not like her, by the way. You didn't like her in Wolfman. We didn't like her in Wolfman. I don't think we like her. I don't like her very much. It seems like.
I didn't.
It's not so much that I didn't like her in Wolfman. I just, as I said, I feel like it was the wrong choice of role for her.
100%. Yeah.
And if I'm gonna admit to one thing, what I don't like about Julie Garner is that hair.
That hair.
And it's
Yeah.
from someone who chooses to be bold, but that hairstyle I feel like needs to change because that hairstyle for me represents everything about modern day that is just like despicable.
Yeah, but that is her natural hair. To be fair to her.
No, you style it, do something about it. Apparently, it's slicked back for a role in Fantastic Four, even though she's playing a chrome thing.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah,
change it.
do something. Yeah, she's the same character in every movie. That's part of it for me. The same hair, the same everything.
Yes,
Mitch, you need to be her stylist.
do anything with it except what you're doing, because that broccoli hair.
Grammar.
Oh,
To me, it's more
that what it is?
grammar hair. Like Jared's a broccoli haired Gen Z boy. She's more of the granny.
even
Yeah.
if she would pull it off what Jared is doing right now with his hair, I was like, all right, cool. At least it's a change. Like that curly thing, which I've seen memes for, comparing it to like 2002 Justin Timberlake. It's like, yeah, okay, it's pretty on point.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Anyway, yeah.
Anyways.
As you were saying, Mitch.
I want to go on record.
um,
I didn't choose this haircut. The hairdresser did this for me, so I was just like,
the
pretty
hair chose
disappointed.
you.
Yeah, but you said, can I please get the Gen Z broccoli hair? Look, please.
I did. All right, so continue, Mitch.
Yeah, back to the story. So if her intention was for me to dislike her in the first half of the film, and that was the performance she was meant to give, she knocked it out of the park. All right, because she is, as Jared said, a very flawed individual. She makes irrational choices out of her own personal insecurities, that drive her more closer to this brink of like self-destruction. I think a lot of one of the key themes in this is about obsession and alcoholism, especially from her character. Um, there is a lot of other characters, as I found out. Josh Brolin plays a key role in this as well. He was my favorite performance, and a surprise because I didn't even know he was in it. He was poorly marketed in the trailer, so I thought
For
he
a
was just going
second,
to be a
yeah.
secondary role. But he was pretty much in the forefront as much as Julie Garner, and he himself is suffering from, I wouldn't say obsession, but he's one of the people looking for his son. So it can pull the boundary of like overstepping the line, which he does multiple times in this film. Just sort of like Julie Garner, but in two different directions. But yeah, everyone in this film did a great job, and they do carry the weight of the film, the suspense. I mean, if you didn't care for the character, it wouldn't be as suspenseful because we're kind of getting involved with their life, and we want to see them achieve their goal at the end of it, which is to solve this mystery, which is a whole classroom of kids just randomly disappear overnight without any real evidence or anything to go by except this one kid in the class. So from that comes this whole town that's just on high alert and paranoid and wanting someone or something to blame. And so most of that blame goes towards Julie Garner's character, and that's what drives her to this alcoholism and self-destructive path, because it's either she needs to be the one to solve it, or run away from it, and she chooses the latter, so to speak. Um, yeah, a lot of themes, and I couldn't say it's cliched. There's a lot of original take on the thriller in this, and the outcome for me landed on most marks. I will go more into the spoiler area. Some of the narrative tropes that I felt were either lacking or went in a direction that just hit a wall and was never followed through with. But all in all, it was a solid film. Recommend it. And yeah, another good horror for the year. So, tick.
Yeah,
That's a wrap.
that's a wrap on the non-spoiler review. Now, please watch the next video for our spoiler review.
And a surprise story time. If we aren't even going to do that with the little toddlers.